Hey there. Doing a little last minute cleaning. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. Hate to do a whole live show with a frog in my throat. Might decide to hop out at some point. If it was summertime, it might hop out of my mouth, hop around my house, and chase down some flies that were in here. Do you ever have times in your year where no matter how clean you keep your home, and it's been in every home I've ever been, the flies seem to take over? And I don't want to gross you out the first thing on a Saturday morning, because bugs kind of gross me out. But there will be times I'll come home from wherever and there'll be like 10 flies smacking against my window. Kind of grosses me out. Never really know what to do. I try not to kill them. But it's hard to come to a safe, healthy relationship with a fly and still extricate it from your home. Do you know what I mean? Anyway. Good morning. Let's flip this over here. Good morning, Steven. Good morning, Smitty. Good morning, user. Good morning, user. Thank you for sending me likes. Good morning, King Marky. Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning, Nicholas. Good morning, She-Monster. She-Monster. Sounds like a woman I might marry. No, I'm just kidding. My ex-wives are wonderful. I'm totally joking. Thought it was funny though. Sex Metal Barbie. Good morning, user. Good morning, Catty Cat. Good morning, Farmer Girl. Good morning, East and Rick. Hello, Scott Concrete. You're from Florida, aren't you, Scott? Are you in construction? Or is your last name Concrete? Good morning, Shannon. Yvonne, is it Yvonne or Yvonne? I'll call you Yvonne. But if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. Hello, Grandmama. My Saturday is doing well. Hello, Salali. Hello, Bishiku. Hello, Beluga Undercover. This is so fun. Saturdays are always so fun. Fun. I read Yvonne's word as I was speaking, and out came the roar. Hello, Natalie. Hello, Harry Levy. Good morning, Sheila from Kentucky. I don't know what that means. Oh, you're saying I look like the guy from Breaking Bad. What you doing? I'm sitting here. I go live. My name's Ken Tracy. Thank you all for joining. And I am, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is a show I've been doing for a long time. I go live at 8 o'clock every morning here on TikTok, or every morning I can, which is almost every morning. I was stressed yesterday. I had to make an appointment for on Wednesday, and I either was going to make it for 8 o'clock, which would conflict with this live show, or 11 o'clock, which would conflict with my seasonal job as a UPS helper. And I still am somewhat conflicted. What's more important? Who's lording? You need coffee, Keith? You and I both. And thank you for reminding me. As I was saying, I've been doing this show quite a while. I've been doing it for about 3.5 years. Do it live every morning at 8 o'clock. It's a show about me talking, sharing some life experiences, kind of blah, whatever comes to mind, free flow thought. And I like it black. And again, it's mostly free flow thought, kind of verbal diarrhea, if you will. But it's also a show, for those that have been watching a while, about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I'm going to grab this because this will come in handy in a minute. I got a nice hot cup of coffee in my hand. And I'm excited to have some sip. Yeah, I never put sugar. Sometimes I'll put cream. Sometimes I'll put cream in it. Hey, thank you for following the host. No, I can't go live. Everyone wants to join my live. Not everybody. 5 times a day, somebody always wants to join my live. This frightens me. What would that happen? Do I French press? No, I do not. I have French pressed. Latin Machina and Gia follow the host. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Ginger, I like a little cream. When I go out, when I'm at Starbucks or out for, let me see, I got to make sure the lighting's okay. Latina. That's kind of dark. Is it way too dark? I don't know really what I can do. Maybe I could go this way. Let me see. Could I go this way? I could try this way. You guys want me to try this way? This could be fun. I'm always at that angle, but it was so dark. Let's go over here. And you see my mirror. I live in a small house. Let me show you what we're looking at here. I live in a small house in North Naperville, which is a town of about 150,000 people, 35 miles west of Chicago. This is my family room. It's one of the smallest homes in Naperville. I say that proudly because, I don't know, what else? Saying it with shame won't do me any good. It won't make the house any bigger. But I enjoy my little home. This is Les. Hello, Les. Good morning. Just to be safe, I don't want to be disrespectful. What are your pronouns? Minimalization. Changed my life. Yeah, I don't even know. I've always kind of been minimalist. Anyway, yeah, less to clean, less to heat, less to cool in the summer. I had a friend over last night, and I was able to get the home really clean in about half an hour. I mean, not perfectly clean, but pretty darn clean in about half an hour. You know, and I keep it fairly clean, but it needs a good dusting or a sweeping or what have you. I have a dog, and I have a lot of hardwood. Not a lot. I mean, it's a small home, but it's all hardwood. And, yeah, no, it feels great. It feels great because my home's clean right now. I even dusted. Anyway, before I talk too much longer, I want to have some coffee. I woke up at 5:08 this morning, did my morning routine, which includes a morning video that I do every day where I have my first sip of coffee and say good morning to whoever cares to watch it. It's funny, I've been doing that. Hold on here. Let's get to the coffee and then I'll tell you what's funny. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you. Cheers to us. Oh, it's the Sumatra. I decided to go flavorless this morning. Just go with the deep, dark roast from Starbucks, the Sumatra. And I'm pleased. I'm going to have another sip. I was saying something funny a minute ago. What was funny? It probably wasn't even that funny. I'm going to light some candles during the silence. So, I was going about my morning routine. I do my thing. What's funny? I do a morning video every day. Oh, Yvonne, I'm happy. I'm happy. Do you put any cream or sugar in it? I go black at home and on the road, which means at Starbucks or a breakfast joint or anywhere else, I generally put some cream in it. And I haven't said this in a while, but I think it's kind of important and reveals a little bit. Hello, Natalie Mason. Thank you, Ginger. I think so, too. When I put cream in it, I drink, 5 cups of coffee. Light a candle. I probably have 5 cups of coffee at my house every day. And if I put a shot of cream in each one of those cups, it'd be a significant amount of calories. Maybe not on one day or 2 days. But over a week or a month or a year, those calories add up, and it'd be, thousands and thousands of calories a year that I really don't need or care for. And it's a pain in the butt because you run out of cream, you get addicted to the cream, you forget to pick up the cream when you go to the grocery store, and you go, damn, I'm out of cream. Do I have a coffee-scented candle? No, I do not. Very merry. Right now, I've lit a coconut and warm vanilla. And a pumpkin spice, ironically, which, again, given the amount... Yankee candles, they're more expensive than I buy. They're like $20, I think. Why do you wake up so early? I go to bed so early. I don't know. I'm working as a UPS driver. Not a driver. I'm working as a driver helper. And I'm tired when I get home, and it feels great going to bed early. And I wake up early. I woke up at 5:08, which for me is a pretty good night. So can I kick back? I'm well versed. Thank you. I'm not totally sure what that means nutritional. But mean, I know what well-versed means, but don't you usually say you're well-versed in something? Like well-versed in bowling or golf? I'm just well-versed. I'm a Renaissance man is what I am. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Beverly. Hope nothing too serious. I'm going to say a little prayer for your recovery and strength and health. And glad you could join me today from the hospital. Is this okay? Is this okay? I'm going to do it, I think. My legs are sore. Why do I wake up so early? I don't drink or go out really much anymore. I go to bed really early. It feels great. I love falling asleep. I used to drink every day. I used to smoke pot every day. And now I come home from whatever I'm doing. And lately it's been working for UPS. And, well, thank you, Ginger. Lately it's been working for UPS as a driver helper. And it's a physical job. And, you know, my shifts are 4, 5, 6 hours maybe on average. I do have snowflakes, huh? I also got lights. I also got a little baby Christmas tree and some lights on my window. But, and, what was I saying? Oh, I get home, I'm tired. I eat food. I usually walk my dog, Holly. That's my dog over there. I don't know if she's tired. We got back from a walk a little bit ago. She's usually very involved in Coffee with Ken. She's usually up by me, and I'm having to getting to pet her with both hands. Golden Grams, by far nutritional. It's interesting you brought up cereal. I have 2 boxes of cereal right now. I have Frosted Flakes, which is kind of a junk cereal. And I have Raisin Bran. And I had 2 bowls of Raisin Bran this morning. What I like about both those cereals and Golden Grams, yeah, I do need stockings. Oh, it is a great workout. It is a blessing. It's not even in disguise. It's a blessing in a lot of ways. Keeps me busy, keeps me exercised, keeps me burning calories. I actually wore an Apple Watch the other day just to see how many calories I'd burn, and I burned like 1,200 without even doing a workout, which is probably 600 more than I normally would on any given day. Yeah, no, it's a great workout. I need the money. It keeps me busy. It keeps my mind stimulated, gives me some topics to talk about with you guys. Not that I ever really run out of things to talk about. If I do, I can always just pause. Yeah, I think I've had Raisin Bran Crunch. Oh, back to the cereals. Yeah, I like cereals with some weight on them. And that nutritional person asked me, Golden Grams or Honey Smacks. Honey Smacks almost have no weight. And Cocoa Krispies have no weight. And Captain Crunch has no weight. And when I mean weight, I mean actually density. Oh, so. Do you think the app is a worthy note? I don't know what you mean. Honey Bunches of Oats, that's in my wheelhouse, very merry. Cinnamon Life cereal's great. Honey Bunches of Oats, Golden Grams, Raisin Bran. I'll get Frosted Flakes, will be on the rotation because, again, they got good weight. And occasionally Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love TikTok. I've been on TikTok since November 16th of last year. I was doing my content on another social media platform, and I was doing a live show every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. And I was just separated from my wife. I was going through a ton of stuff in terms of like depression and anxiety and substance abuse. I was doing my show every Saturday, and a friend and his wife and his daughter were watching it. And his daughter was a psychology major or something like that, and also was on TikTok. And she goes, Cheerios are worthless to me. Was also on TikTok, and she goes, oh, you should put your stuff over on TikTok and give yourself, put yourself in front of a broader audience. And I did. Actually, she did. She edited a couple of my videos and popped them on. They're my first 2. But ever since then, I've been kind of trial and erroring. And I do a morning show every day that takes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes of me talking and drinking my first sip of coffee. And I used to do a lot of videos of me just walking down the street. When I have a thought, I'd go, hey there, it feels great walking down the street on this cool and crisp day. It's feels good to get some exercise and some fresh air. That's an example of a video. But what I've found, and my page is starting to grow kind of quickly the last couple of weeks, and what I've been doing is committing to a live show every day at 8 o'clock. And I go back and I watch my live shows and I edit them up and cut them up and splice them up and then add music and sound or words to the clips and I repost them. And it seems to, I tell you what, I look back at my live shows and there's always some good material. You know, I always say something either funny or something that I go makes me cry or laugh or get angry. I think I have a gift that I can touch people's emotions, and one way or the other, I can make them smile or laugh or cry. And what am I doing today? Well, I'm sitting here drinking this coffee. My expected routine is I'm going to get a text in the next half hour from UPS. No, there's a show called Hiking with Ken. Sounds like Coffee with Ken, but just more exercise, a little more work. Oh, Hiking with Kevin. Okay, that makes more sense. No, I have not, Ginger. Anyway, I expect to get a text from UPS in the next hour telling me where to meet a driver and at what time, and then I expect to dedicate my next 5 or 6 hours of the day delivering packages to homes in and around the western suburbs of Chicago. Kind of interesting. I never know where. I don't know ever who I'm going to work with. Got a little soap in my ear. I shaved this morning. I've been growing out my facial hair for several days. Shaved it this morning. Thought I'd go clean for you. And then after that, probably 5 o'clock, I'll come home, I'll walk Holly. I'll probably make some dinner. I'll lay on the couch for about an hour. I'll fall asleep. And I'll do it all again tomorrow. Except Sundays, UPS doesn't work. And Sundays are the day I get to spend with my little nugget of joy, Augie. I got a little 19-month-old. He's creeping up on 20 months. Old little angel that I spend my Sundays with. What's my favorite dinner? Lasagna? Meat lasagna. It's got to be meat lasagna with a bunch of cheese all over it. My second favorite dinner, if I had to say, with a salad, side salad, good bread if they had it. I would hope they would, that I could dip in the sauce and put some butter on, or dip the bread in olive oil and Parmesan, because that's delicious. And have a side salad with blue cheese dressing and blue cheese crumbles. What's the hard time sleeping there for all that exercise? I don't have a hard time sleeping. Am I married? Yes, I am. I'm going through a divorce. It's sadly my second. We got separated at last end of October. And we have 2 beautiful little babies. And I have 2 beautiful girls from a first marriage. And I think I'm a better father than maybe husband. I don't know. Feels that way right now. And, I don't know. I struggle more with what size pants do I wear. I think they're 32, 34 or 34, 32. I don't know if I'm longer or fatter. But they're one or the other. And I'm wearing jeans from Levi's, bought at Target right now, that are fairly inexpensive. And they come in different sizes, in different shapes, and different fits. And you got to be careful. You can't just go in and get a 34, 32 or 32, 34 in any of the same fits, because if you get the slim fit, you're going to be strangled. And if you get the loose fit, you're going to be swimming in them. So you got to be careful when it comes to buying pants. How old are the 2 older girls? I have 2 daughters that are 16 and 13. I'd just be in jogging pants. We're not an exact match. There's a theory that you have to be a good husband to be a good father. What do you think? Well, I don't think so. I mean, only if you define a good father as being a married... No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, only if you define a father as being somebody that's still married to his wife. I mean, if you define it that way, then yes. But I guess I don't. Because I think I don't know. I think I'm a great dad. I wish I could be with my kids a little more. But I don't think that was my destiny. And I think I have a lot of love to give. And I'll promise you, my children will never doubt that their father loves them. And I'm certainly not a perfect dad, or wasn't a perfect husband or anything like that. I'm not perfect at anything. And probably none of us are. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Matt. Thank you guys for joining. You're a little late. I'm very prompt every morning at 8 o'clock. I'm just teasing. You guys don't have to watch. Is this Charles or Red? I do not know what you mean, nutritional. You're confusing me. You're confusing me. You just rolled over. I'm good, man. I'm good. I got my feet up. I got my coffee in hand. I've worked 10 of the last 11 days for UPS, and it would have been 11 of 11, but fortunately they don't deliver on Sundays. My legs are sore. I think I'm falling behind on some things that need to get done and taken care of. And I'm probably going to tell them I can't work Sunday because they don't deliver. Oh, I'm sorry, Matt. And I don't really get sick. Do I still do real estate? I do. I showed a home yesterday morning. Good morning, Foxface. You know what's interesting, and I may have talked about this yesterday, so you guys can tune off if you're bored. I was going through a neighborhood yesterday or 2 days ago with a driver that I used to live in, that I knocked on every door for real estate, that I've delivered flyers to a jillion times, that I've got a Facebook page for, that I do a ton of advertising to, and I don't know if I sold any one of those homes ever. And I look back on real estate, my career. I've done it for just over 17 years, and I've done fairly okay. I've sold more homes than most, but less than some. And I think if you're not in the top 1 to 5%, real estate is not a full-time job. I think all the brokers out there will tell you that it is, and that you just have to work harder and work harder. And I put a lot of pressure on myself over the years to work harder and do more advertising, do more marketing. And I tried pretty much everything that I thought was, right or smart or prudent to do. And nothing worked that well. I mean, I probably hosted 200 open houses in my life. And if I think about how few clients I got out of those 200 open houses, it's amazing. And I probably knocked on, 50,000 doors. I don't know. I'm making that up. I really don't know, but it's a lot. And I probably made 100,000 cold calls and sent out, 100,000 flyers. And nothing really worked that well. So what I kind of realized the other day as I was driving through a neighborhood that I used to live in about 10 or 12 years ago with my first wife is maybe real estate's not a full-time job. Maybe, and I've gone to a million meetings, and I'm making up the numbers on all of these. Obviously, I haven't been to a million meetings, but I've sure been to a lot. I've been to a lot of training classes, a lot of motivational classes. I think if I was going to do it over again, I probably wouldn't do real estate. But if I did, I'd probably keep going in life as if almost nothing had changed. Yeah. Yeah, no, I did, Mary. A lot is relative. And for me, in the back of my mind, somebody asked if I spent a lot of money in marketing. Yeah, more than I could afford. I was paying my bills and scraping by, and hello from Alabama, struggling to keep my head above water. And, if you're spending $500-600 a month maybe in marketing, and you're worried about paying rent or something like that or whatever, it can be stressful. And again, I think it's just a lot harder than anybody realizes. And if I was to do it again, and I might, if I could go back in time, I'd probably do it again, but I might do it different. I'd keep a job. I'd do what I'm doing right now, delivering packages. I make, $70 a day or something like that after taxes, maybe for 4 or 5 hours of work. Not a ton of money, but it's money that's coming in. Mary, I wonder if your neighbor's really killing it. I wonder if she's really killing it. Every realtor says, I couldn't be busier. It's awesome. I love my job. #blessed. But one thing I've learned is I wouldn't believe any of it. I'm on the inside, and I know she's not killing it. I promise you, and I'm trying to be as honest as I can. Thank you, Tracy from Indiana. She says she's killing it, and she says she couldn't be busier. And she says business is amazing. But that's what we're trained to say. Yeah, 5 closings a lot, but how much does she spend in a month? Yeah, 5 closings is a lot. I'd probably average 1.5. Well, 5 last month. Yeah, I've done 5 in a month. But I wouldn't say that means I'm killing it. I've also had I don't know. Nothing's worked the best for me. Everything's worked a little bit. No, five's a lot. I mean, five's a lot. Did she tell you she did five, Mary? I'm just curious. Did she tell you she did five? She sold five homes? That's another thing. Why is she telling you she sold five homes? So many say they're doing well. Because why did she tell you she sold five homes? What do you do for a living, Mary? All right. Anyway, but okay. I hope she does well. I hope everybody does well. Yeah, I doubt you tell people how you're doing in work. It's a weird business because I'm friends with a jillion people on social media. What's the average rabbit? Nutritional, you're asking weird questions. It's distracting me. Please stop. Yeah, or at least a part-time job, Faith. At least a part-time job. At least a part-time job. I mean, if you're working full-time at least for the beginning. Because, again, I just found a lot of times, I just found a lot of times the hardest thing to do is be in front of a client. The hardest thing to do is be in front of a client. The hardest thing to spend, you're not in front of a client nearly as often as you think. Yeah, benefits would be great. Nutritional, I don't know what you're saying. I'm getting distracted. I try and engage with everybody that chimes in, but sometimes people kind of say random thing. Maybe Midwest. What do you want to talk about Christmas for a 31-year-old? Learn to forgive yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to be okay. Learn to accept life as it comes. And I don't know if this is for you, but I'd say maybe give up control in the world. Again, just with real estate, I used to think if I worked harder, I could make it happen magically. And really, there was hardly any connection. Or if I was in a relationship, I thought if I did something different, the relationship would be different. Which means I thought I could control other people or control the world. And I think the sooner we learn to accept things as they come and as they are, and maybe not put a value like, oh, I'm having a good day or I'm having a bad day. Maybe. All right. I'm done with that. Thank you, Ryan Gunnison. I do. What's a mod? I don't even know what a moderator? I do. I get distracted. Well, there's just ones that came to mind. But I really think it's important. I used to think, and again, I think I'm codependent. I think I took care of that. I think I could control, hello, Gambier or Gambler, I can't see what that is. I used to think I could control things more than I could, and I think that's codependency. I think I'm very sensitive, and I think I didn't understand when somebody was rude or wouldn't hold the door open, and I would let it bother me. And I'm learning to let go. I'd say learn to let go. Learn to let go. And I'm not there yet. Yeah. That's interesting. I'm thinking about getting truck driving skill. I don't know about second job. I appreciate it, MySpace Gov. Thank you, Grace. Or is it Piper or is it Grace? Yeah, and again, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything. I'm learning. I'm 54. Keep getting better every day. Keep getting better every day. Okay, more advice. Stop drinking alcohol. And this is talking to me. But I did that 13 months ago, and I'm proud of that. I tried. It's interesting you bring that up. I have 4 children. I had a therapy appointment yesterday. I almost cried. I was put on a waiting list about 6 weeks ago. I found a few. I realized I've had a lot of stuff go on to me, as we're all having stuff go on. There's lots of stuff going on in all of our lives. And I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and I could tell by talking to a buddy of mine. And I said, hey, I need to go see a therapist. And I looked up on my insurance what therapists were covered, and the 3 closest to me, I called, and I was put on like waiting list. And I'll tell you what, if you're reaching out to a therapist, you generally don't want to be on a waiting list. You're reaching out because you got something you want to talk about. You don't want to talk about it in 2 months. However, I want to be patient, so I've got on the waiting list. And about a month later, they called me up and scheduled an appointment for yesterday at 5:30. And I went there. I was sitting there. I was all excited because I had a ton to unpack, a ton I wanted to talk about. And the therapist didn't show. And I'm sitting there in the office, and it's 5:30 at night on a dark Friday night. And I called the office, and a woman called me back, a very kind woman, and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, our therapist didn't show." And I go, "Oh, that makes me sad. I've been waiting so long. I was so excited to talk today." And she was a very kind woman, also a therapist. I don't know if she runs the company or whatever, but I scheduled with her on Wednesday. Yeah, Leela, I almost cried. I was sitting there going, I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about. And again, it's hard to talk about it with, I got a bunch of stuff I'm trying to figure out to feel better about and feel a little bit, it is, Shannon, but I'm not joking. I think that, again, try and go, I forget who said, it's hard to make therapy appointments. It's hard to make therapy appointments. And I told the woman, hey, I should be a therapist. Because I'll tell you what, she didn't show for work. It wasn't just yesterday. I think they hired her and maybe she never showed I don't know the exact details. She certainly wasn't there yesterday, but the woman said she didn't show. I think they probably hired her, interviewed her, and she never came to her first appointment. Not totally sure. But anyway, it was strange. It was disappointing. I kid you not. And I told the woman I should be a therapist because the demand is great. As opposed to the demand for realtors, you call a realtor, they'll meet you anywhere in 10 minutes. I think so, Leela. I think it's beyond unprofessional. I don't want to do telehealth. I think she just didn't want to work for this company. I don't know what the deal is. I don't want to do telehealth. I think for me it's important to be in a room with somebody so they can get my vibes and feel my energy, if you will. Because maybe you guys can feel my vibes and energy, and somebody said, hey, you seem like you're getting tense. Maybe we should change the subject. Maybe you can tell. But for me, I'd rather get to know I don't want to say empathic because that seems like a superpower, but I think I can feel goodness or not in the humans I'm in a room with. And I think it's important I know who I'm with. And if I'm in a room with somebody, I'll know if she and I prefer it to be a woman for whatever reason. Maybe a man would be okay. But anyway, if they and I are vibing in the way I want, and I'd prefer to be. Natalie, is it really her birthday? Is she watching? Is she watching? Is she watching? I'd like to say more than I. All right. Well, I'd love to do this. Okay. I got to go because I've talked for 30-some minutes and you guys might be getting bored. But before I go, I got a very special friend named Lorden. What a beautiful name Lorden is, by the way. And it's her birthday today. So with that in mind, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lorden. Happy birthday to you and many more. Blah. So, I like singing happy birthday. I used to be a waiter at Outback Steakhouse. And I'm a hard worker. I'm not the most gifted waiter. I got shaky hands. But I like singing happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lorden, wherever you are, whoever you are, however old you are. I hope you enjoy your special day. I hope you live in the moment. You get everything you ask for, and you're with people you love. And most importantly, remember to love yourself, because if you can't love yourself, you're going to have a hard time. And I say this from personal experience, being in a healthy relationship with other people. So, Lorden, happy birthday. But anyway, driver. I'm getting the notification of when I'm working tonight at 11 a.m. or today. Working at 11. I need the hours. I need the money. What was I saying before I'm going to go in a minute? Was I saying anything important? Was I saying anything important? I don't know if I was saying anything important. I'm happy it's Lauren's birthday. I'm happy you guys all tuned in today. I so appreciate you for joining me. I so appreciate you guys that are following my page, chime in. This means a lot to me and makes me feel good because, again, I can get stuff off my chest that that was part of my happy birthday wish. I appreciate it, Gambier. I think it's important to love yourself. And again, for most of my life, I didn't. I had a horrid self-image and horrid self-talk, and that's a hard way to go through life. So if you're out there and you got a bad voice in your head saying bad things to you, learn how to turn that voice down and turn on to some more positive stuff. Hang out with more positive people. Stop drinking alcohol if you drink too much. I know for me, I drank too much. I used alcohol and pot to soothe myself. Hello, Dan. Who dat? To soothe my emotions all the time. And that's not a good way to go through life. For me, I wasn't one to have a glass of wine or, a couple bottles of beer. If I have a cup of coffee, I'll have 10. But I tend to go all in on most things I do. So, and if you are doing it with like gambling and drugs or alcohol, that's a dangerous thing to do. Hey, well, thank you, Ginger. I so appreciate you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I think the world needs more encouragement and less criticism. And I appreciate you for saying that. And, because it means a lot to me. Because sometimes I wonder, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Sometimes. But for the most part, I think it is. And I wake up and I have a big smile on my face every day. And I feel lucky. I feel fortunate. I feel blessed. And, hey, keep liking my page. This guy, people were liking my page too much. I pulled it all out. At the beginning of the show, I had a full head of hair. I have a hard time hanging up. Yeah, well, thank you, Ginger. You're sweet. You are sweet. Your name's Graceface. My page is growing. I'll tell you what, I think the key to my page growing really quickly is, again, doing these lives and editing the lives up and putting them back out with some music and some words attached. Because in every 30, 40 minutes, a broken clock's right twice a day, they say. Or, if you put a monkey in front of a keyboard long enough, he'll type out a great book. If you talk enough, I don't know, there's a few favorites. I go with the feeling, obviously if it's a sadder, somber video, I'll play some sadder, somber music. If it's more inspirational, I'll play some inspirational music. I try and make the music obviously match the feeling. It's funny, and I'm going to go soon. But I was talking to two, probably high school girls because they were young, so I figured they probably were on TikTok. And I go, hey, I'm working on this video. I think it's a real good video. What music should I go with it? And they said, who's the guy from, I don't know. It was two like super pop bands that would have nothing to do. Who's the guy that's good looking the girls go crazy for? Young. He was in that little boy band. Harry Styles! And the other one was like I don't know. No, it was Harry Styles. It was Harry Styles. And I forget the other one. But either way, neither music would have anything to do with the mood of the video. Now, I like Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran's an amazing musician. How many hits does Ed Sheeran have? It's amazing. For a guy that's been around for maybe, 10 years maybe. I mean, he's got a lot of hits. He's got a lot of really good songs that I like a lot. So anyway, I'll leave you with Ed Sheeran because that makes me smile a little bit. I might go listen to a little Ed Sheeran. I'm probably going to go to Starbucks, do a little video editing for the next hour and a half or so. And then I'm going to meet a driver out at 11 o'clock and probably work for about 5 hours, delivering packages, wearing my Santa's hat possibly, hopefully making people smile. Because people love seeing the UPS guy come into their door, so I get to do that, a couple hundred times today. And I don't know. It's a tiring job, honestly, and I'm physically beat from it. but it brings me a lot of joy and gets me some exercise at a time in my life when I need it. Not the extra. I mean, I'm not saying I'm fat, but I could be in better shape. But I mean, to blow off steam and feel good about what you're doing and feeling productive is important for me. So it feels real good. So I'm looking forward to it. Going to drink some coffee, enjoy my day, and I hope you guys do the same. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Hope you tune in. I hope you tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I hope you follow my page. Hope you enjoy my videos. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.